to go from this to this. So based on the 3 tips to the ground hunting video, which has been wildly successful, I've noticed that the views of my ghillie hood building video started to go up. So I decided to do a second video on the ghillie hood, and it's a beautiful Saturday morning. This is a great day to sit outside. I've got my coffee. I'm going to go get some jute, and we are going to convert this cobra hood into a full-blown ghillie hood. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I've said before, this hood, this cobra hood, is on Amazon. You can type in cobra hood or ghillie hood or whatever it is into your search, and it'll come up. Hundreds of them will come up. They run about $40, $42. You can find some for $39 and change, and there are lots of different colors. You can get them in camo, various camos. You can get them in solid colors. You can get them in solid fabrics. This is a part mesh, part solid fabric. It's kind of a darkish camo, but I didn't have one in that, and I've got a lot of jute, so I figured I'd go with this one. But when you get your hood from Amazon, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove a lot of the extra clips and bungee cords. We roll this around. So here's a clip. I leave this clip on, but on the back, this clip is designed to go on kind of a cape. So if you were going to be laying prone in a sniper position, you could have on the hood and throw the cape over your back, and you could blend in, to the ground. But I'm not doing that. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these clips off. I'm just going to cut the webbing and remove all of these clips. And there are a few of these bungees. Here's one right here. I don't need this one, so I'm probably going to take this one off. I might leave the bungees on the opening of the sleeve to tighten the sleeve onto your arm. I might leave those, but for the most part, these clips have got to go. Okay, so this is really all it takes. I have in front of me my jute, and so once you get your bundle, whether you want to go with a bundle all one color, or if you want to mix your colors, I prefer to mix the colors and take all 3. And I'm simply just going to pick a loop, and I'm going to girth hitch it to one of the loops. So our main focus is to break up this outline. So I'm going to start right about here, and I'm just going to girth hitch it. And this way, if this gets snagged on something, it'll just pull tighter, so it won't get snagged and untie and come off. This way, it's going to stay on. And so I just take my time, and again, I'll grab a bundle. And since this is pretty dark, I'm probably not going to put a lot of the black. I'm going to do primarily the tan and the brown. And I'm just going to put in what I like to call a dash of black, which would just be a handful of some of the black threads. Again, some of the black jute. I make sure they're all about the same length, and I just pick the next loop, and I just girth hitch it just like this and let it lay. And that's going to help break up that head shoulder outline. Okay, so we've made our way across the top here, across the front. And because you're layering, you can skip. You don't have to hit every loop because you're layering on top of it. The very first one I did I hit every loop, and I had a pretty bulky ghillie hood, and I have now found out that I can get away with not hitting every loop. But one of the key parts up here on top is you don't want your jute to come down in your face. So what I like to do up on the top is, instead of girth hitching it here so it hangs that way, is I'll girth hitch it, and I want the knot facing to the back of my head. So I'll girth hitch it here like this, and then I will take this material, and if it gets to the point where I think it's going to hang down, I'll actually tuck it in so that it hangs back and away from my face. You do that on a couple of those top loops to keep it from coming down into your forehead and on your face. And that just makes life easier when you get out there and set up in the woods. And again, when we are layering it, so since you want it to layer like shingles would layer, you start from the bottom and you work your way up. It's just easier to work that way if you start down here on one of these loops and girth hitch it here, and just the next one will be on top, and so it's just easier to work that way. So we'll grab another bundle of jute, a couple strands of this beautiful tan jute here. Let's get that loose straggler. We'll grab a little bit of the brown. I usually go about, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, it just depends. Just a thin strip. And again, because this hood already has a lot of black, I'm not going to put a lot of black into it. And I'll just go up I'll just skip a loop, and we girth hitch it in and cinch it just like that. And we'll work our way up to the top. So another tip, just to kind of save you some time in jute, is when you get to the back, you have all of these loops, and your gut instinct is, man, I need to tie jute to all of these. But in reality, that's behind you, and we're worried about deer to the side and to the front. If you're playing the wind, behind you isn't going to matter, because they're going to smell you anyway. So you don't need to have a whole bunch of layering of your jute and camo on the back of this hood. You come back again, because we're worried about the side. You do a couple here and a couple back here, and really you don't have to worry about this strap or any of these on the back. You just kind of cover the top and the sides, and this whole back portion you can leave open, and that will mean your ghillie hood will be easier to pack in and out, and it'll save you time tying jute. So there's an additional grips tip here on camoing your ghillie hood. Okay, so that is pretty much going to take care of the hood portion of this ghillie hood. And again, from the front, that's what we're worried about, is breaking up this head shoulder outline. And right now we've pretty much taken care of that. But we want to continue on, because your arms are going to be up and moving, and you want to help break them up as well. So we're going to move on to the sleeve portion. But this is where, for a right-handed archer, you want to be light on your left arm. And for a left-handed archer, you want to go light on your right arm, but still have enough in there to break up that outline. So there's the hood. And again, if we turn him, you see I didn't spend a whole lot on the back, because again, if they're behind you, they're going to wind you anyway. So save time and energy, and make your ghillie hood lighter to pack in by not juting in all of this. You really don't need to. You can, if it makes you feel better. You can throw a couple in there, but again, you look at it from the front, which is our main concern, we're breaking up that head shoulder outline. All right, let's start working on the sleeves. All right, that's about it. I believe this hood is ghillied. So we got a little bit, got some on the sleeves. So again, when you hold your arm out, you kind of want a few of those. Of course, this is your right arm. It won't be out much. And, you know, when you're shooting, this side is going to be out. That's going to help break it up, because your bow and hand's going to be here. So you really don't need to have a whole lot of camo material hanging on the inside. But that is it. I believe this is going to be ready for the woods. All right, so one of the beauties of this hood is it will fit into this dump pouch right here. This is a dump pouch that is from JX3 Outdoors. It folds up, zips up into this nice little package. Unzip it, you get this rather large pouch, and you can grab the hood. This is the one we just did. You can take this hood and just shove it into this pouch, and boom, this is what you're packing in right here. This pouch. There's your whole ghillie hood right there. That's a whole lot better than taking in an entire ghillie suit. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If this video has anything that you find useful, again, always recommended you click like and subscribe. Or if you know someone who is looking into hunting from the ground, whatever the reason, they don't want to climb anymore, you know, their farm has changed, or they just want a new and an exciting way to hunt deer, share this video with them, and hopefully it'll help them out. And I'll put a card to the other video about my 3 tips to hunting on the ground. Again, want to remind everybody, if anybody is looking for any products from JX3 Outdoors, go right to their website. And if you're interested in purchasing anything from the hybrid saddle to the Versa Pack, the bino harness, or even just the dump pouch, remember, use my promo code GRIP14 for a discount. Also, I'll put the link here. If you're buying any archery products from Boning Archery, I'm now an affiliate with them. Use this link to go to Boning to buy your products, and it costs you nothing, but it does support the channel. So if you're going to do that, I'd appreciate the support. As always, guys, thanks again for watching. And if you have any questions, don't forget, you can always email me at gripsarchery@gmail.com, or simply comment below. I'll answer your question as soon as I have the earliest opportunity. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Oh, here comes my wife with the blower. She's interrupting my content creating.